Hello. Thank you for clicking on. It is Late Night America. It's the American Doofus channel. And I do thank you for being here. 12:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, officially the third day of October. Um, and a lot has happened. If you follow the 1776, whatever it's being referred to as at the moment, a lot of things happened today. We'll talk about those and give you, actually, we're going to give you a chance to talk about those. Doofus dog barking in the background. My apologies. Can't do much about it because I'm live. Again, hello. Thank you for watching. And we're going to get things started with some news. These are some things that you probably haven't heard about and haven't heard about today anyway. We're going to start with the African nation of Burkina Faso. Now, those that are longtime viewers of the show know that we have Chris, invaluable resource. Chris is our militia, our counter militia, our military, our weapons. He's our expert on a number of different things and keeps his ear to the ground, as they say. And the last time Chris was on, we were talking about a coup in Burkina Faso and the fact that it was all about the natural resources of the country and who controlled those natural resources, and that France had been a dominant factor there for a long time, and suddenly they were kicked out. Now, France wouldn't like it. Here we are some 8 months later, I believe, and there was a coup today in Burkina Faso. I'm going to show you where it's at because I'm sure most of you are going, where the hell is Burkina Faso? And why does it matter? Well, if the speculation was true, and let me find here we go. The speculation was true, then the country that is currently involved against Ukraine had a major influence in Burkina Faso, and this is the nation right here. So it's a potential disagreement. Again, here's Burkina Faso right here, and instability. And I think this is Mali right here. But again, Chris told us about all of this, and now here it is again, reappearing. So any kind of potential conflict between Russia and any NATO country is something that we just need to be aware of. Okay. And one final thing I want to pull up here, just so that you understand the significance of that African country, and of a lot of African countries, which have been and in some cases continue to be dominated by European influences. This isn't the one I wanted to pull up. We've already had that. And if you're here to express your opinions on anything that happened today, hang in there. We're going to get to that. Mining, copper, iron, manganese, gold, cassiterite, which is the tin ore, and phosphates. And the amount of gold they're produced has increased. This was back in 2011 by 32%. So it's a relatively rich nation as far as their natural resources. And we've talked about this a lot on here. Uh, Countries go in, and the United States is just as guilty, go in to liberate people when actually we're going in to protect natural resources. And that's just, that's just facts. If if you don't want to believe it, that's okay too, because we don't tell you what to think or how to think. We just give you things to think about. And let's take a glance at what the mainstream media is putting out headline wise. Brazilian election. Lula wins the vote, but he did not win an outright victory. They're going to have a runoff. The death toll soars to 76 after Hurricane Ian. It's according to CNN. The Washington Post, Lyman, a country or a city in the Donetsk Oblast in Ukraine, is fully liberated. This is a problem because this is a section that Russia says is now Russian territory, and they are prepared to use anything and everything. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. We talked about this story the other night. The LA United School District refused to pay a ransom. Hackers released the data today after the refusal. The deadline was supposed to be Monday, so I guess it got close enough, and the data was released today. And that's never a good thing. NBC News, GOP cuts into Democrats' lead among Latino voters, a new poll shows. And the New York Times, the story behind DeSantis migrant flights to Martha's Vineyard. So those are the things the mainstream are telling us about in a little more detail than other stories. But I want to touch on a couple of things before we get to the 1776 and the dysfunctional amoeba, as I've been saying, that all of this has become. We will have a lot to talk about tonight. And hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to everybody watching, whatever platform you're on. And thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciated. A couple of things. We're gonna touch on something as far as Russia and the threat that Russia presents potentially to a lot of countries. If you have a water, let me find it. There we go. If you have a water border, then this weapon, it's called Poseidon. And basically what it is a submarine drone. And it is a nuclear powered submarine drone. And it is a submarine drone that carries a nuclear warhead. And this popped up because of all the chatter that is going on, including Republican Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, who's a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, saying that, there was potential talk about a nuclear deployment to a NATO target. So we're just showing you these things to make you aware. Those that watch the show know that I did an episode on this, and I did an episode back in July, and this video was one of the things I showed. And this is the Belgorod, and this is a submarine specifically designed to carry the little drone submarine to within a specific distance from a potential target. And then the little drone submarine quietly, slowly makes its way to the potential target and then waits offshore until deployed. And for those that have no idea about any of this, let's watch here. Oh, and by the way, for those that are saying, and I can't see the chat at the moment, but if any of you are thinking to yourself, this is no really big deal. We got the greatest military in the world. We can track this thing. The reason this is all being brought up is because we lost contact and we have no idea where this thing is. So this has been in service for a while. Okay, subsea science with 6 nuclear torpedoes. What this submarine will do, it will lay a torpedo off of a shoreline, and the torpedo's obviously underwater. This nuclear submarine is a nuclear torpedo. That was the first video that came out, and that was basically, as you can see, it was Russian propaganda, but nonetheless, it shows us what they have. And the idea behind this is you launch the torpedo towards the coastline of your target, your enemy, and the torpedo explodes underwater and creates a massive radioactive tidal wave that washes over and destroys and radiates and a lot of this is, scare tactics. But at the same time, there's a guy that's in control, and obviously this, we're not going to get monetized on this. There's a guy in control in Russia who is losing, and he can't lose, because if he loses, he gets pushed out of a window potentially. And he's going to resort to different things. He's already said that repeatedly, and at one point he's going to do it. Now, does this thing exist? Well, we know the submarine exists. We've been tracking it. Do they have these torpedoes? It's speculation. They say they do. I wouldn't think they would have launched the sub if they didn't. And it's just something to be aware of. It's not something to freak out about. Nothing we can do about it if they've already put them out there. But if something does happen somewhere, we know in advance, oh, Why did a radioactive tidal wave come up somewhere? Well, okay, now we know. And I felt a lot more comfortable when we did know where the submarine was, and got a little uncomfortable today when I found out we didn't know where it was. So let's get to. I did that. I did it. I did it under 20 minutes. That's what I wanted to do. So, hey, Beverly, Karina, Lori Arnold, hello. Max Smith, Cunning Stunt, Debbie Edmonds, that Gap Tooth Girl, B. Dizzle. Who else is in here? Claude, Northern Lights, Country Girl, Robert Moles, Vaughn Michelle, Kaiser Mama, uh, Mike Hunt, Ellie, Claude, Liperu, Rapunzel. I'm just running up the chat real quick here. Okay, so correct me if I miss anybody. Hi, Tanya Anderson. Again, GA from CA. Good on you, GA from CA, for accomplishing things, and you know what I'm talking about. Real talk. Hi, Sissy. Thank you for all you do, Sissy. Hello, Raptor, Scott, Sam Scott. And have I missed anybody? Darla, Sassy Pants. If I missed you, I apologize, and I'll catch it. I'll get down here to the bottom so that we can. Hello, Mater. All right. Let me put this in. If you've been a guest on here before, then obviously you're going to have priority. If I've seen you in the chat before, that will make it more likely that and I'm saying all this just in case there are a lot of people that want to talk about things that happened today. And there is the link right there. So let's see. Where do we start? My gosh, a lot happened. I'm just going to kind of, because I don't have notes on this, I'm just going to kind of reflect on how today unfolded. Because it's Sunday and that's football day for me, but at the same time, obviously keeping track of news and of what's happening. And I got messages that Ant quit. Ant quit, and Ant's done, and Ant's left, and people are sad, and I don't know. I got 6 or 7 of those, and nobody sent me a link. I guess they might have assumed I was watching, but I was watching football. And somebody sent me a link, and then I found another came in the middle of another chat, which was an awesome thing. But I'm not going to say anything about that because that's that chat's business. And I watched Ant's video, and I didn't think he was quitting. I mean, it didn't sound like to me. It didn't sound like to me he was quitting, and it sounded to me like he was, taking a break, like he had done in the past. And in all honesty, and again, normally we just give you things to think about. Don't tell you what to think or how to think, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not telling you to agree with it, disagree with it. Um, I think that, I think it's a good thing that he takes a break right now. A lot of chatter about arrest warrants and who knows what's been said to the police. And the fact that he's got some truckers that are pretty angry, and it's a good time to it's a good time to take a break, and I'm not saying that's why he did it or anything like that. I'm just saying, as an observer, I see this as, well, this is probably a pretty good time for him to do this, because again, I didn't interpret the video. And if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the chat, or hop up here. I didn't interpret the video um, as he had quit. I just interpreted that. Okay, somebody just sent me a quick little message there, and I got part of it. Um, I didn't take it as he quit. I took it as, he's taken some time off, and I think it's pretty good timing when he's doing so, as I said. So, um, oh my gosh. All right. Um, okay. Um, I hope everybody's being relatively chill with each other in the chat. Um, and if somebody's not, and as we try to say on here, but at the same time, you know, I got great mods, and and they generally know when to just remove somebody. So don't get in that position. If there's somebody saying something you don't like, block them. You can always unblock them later on if you choose to, but um, it's just it seems like this is the way we ought to be able to communicate. And if we can get to that point where we can do it on one small channel, um, maybe we can uh, expand the effect. But if there's, you're not silencing somebody for everyone, which I would be doing if I silenced them. I silence them for everybody. And if you choose to want to hear what they're saying and I choose to silence them, then that takes away your right of hearing what they say. If you want to silence them, all you have to do is click on them and that little three dot thing over there and just block them. Um, I know it sounds so much easier than it really is. I understand that, but I'd like to be able to keep it that way as much as possible. Keep going with the chat. Um, Lori, Lori, do you want to come up here, Lori? Lori, do you want to come up here since you're in here? It's okay if not. I totally understand. You do? Okay. Let me drop this real quick again. Oh, no, no, I didn't want to do that. No, I didn't want to. No, 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 no. I just hid Lori. Sorry. I didn't want to do that. What I wanted to do was this. There we go. There's the link. Click on that, Lori, and we'll talk a little bit. Here we go. Hi, Lori.
Set
How are you?
up. Oh, I'm okay. I'm doing good today, huh?
Yeah. So, what what led to all of this, and kind of walk us through this, especially those that don't know what happened?
Well, I was coming to Tennessee to visit someone, and I decided off because I've been getting a lot of threats from the squirrels. They, they've been threatening Ant, and they threatened all of us, me, AP, and Ant. We went, and for some reason, they started defending the 1776 pedophile group that we are going after. And, and so there have been a lot of speculations about some people that have been living on their property. We call them the People's Convoy. They're the ones that kept losing their children and had fights and stuff, and people were worried about the kids all through the convoy. So, wondering whether those were their children. There's just been a lot of speculation about bad people, and they've been living, we believed, at the squirrel's house. Decided to come over here and find out if those people were still living over here, still the same children with them, just to kind of answer some of the questions that we all. And when I got here, I I got all kinds of stuff. It appears that the nobody likes the squirrels, not even back home. And right now, I'm waiting outside of a jail, one of their neighbors, um, to get out of jail.
Okay. So, what happened? It was dark when the gunshot happened.
Okay, so
What happened?
okay, so I started reads from Freedom Ninja, Chelsea, that you had on a few texts from her. She was threatening me. She's been threatening me tonight all over the squirrel live streams to physical violence and things like that. So she, she was live streaming, and the bus people, once the squirrels found us, people started coming over to the property line back there between the neighbor and them. And so I was just sitting there pretty much. They had waiting out there, and I was just live streaming and watching them yell. And back over, it started to get dark, so they started using a light. You can see it. Well, I don't, they started using a light. And so I went between, beds so they couldn't see me anymore. And I just kept my live stream going, and they continued to yell while they're 15 years old. He came out to do something at the shed, and they were yelling back at them. And I told them he's 17 years old, and they still kept threatening him. I call him the bus guy, Michael. He was telling the old man to go get his gun, threatening the 17-year-old kid. And the kid's dad came out, and his dad shot the gun and up in the air as a warning shot to go back, to leave, to go back into his house or whatever. And he told his son to go into the property. And so I did that. I said, okay. And I left the property. Before I left,
Okay, you cut
I
out.
went.
You cut out there for a second, but I was kind of reading your lips as it cut out, and I think you said he told you to leave the property, and you left the
Yeah, he
property.
told his son to go inside. He told me to leave. I said, okay. And I went to my car. He wanted to talk to me. So I left my live stream in the car, and I went and talked to him. And he's just a little, I think, frustrated and upset at what had just happened.
Yeah.
He asked that I could send his wife the video because I had her phone number, and I tried to get it to them as soon as possible because they thought they might need it for the police. And so then
Yeah.
and I ended up getting a text from his wife telling me to come back, and that the police were coming. So I went back to their property. And unfortunately, what happened was that because he had fired the gun in the air, it was considered reckless endangerment or something, because a bullet goes up, it has to come down. Don't fire any warning shots or anything like that. And so even though they were threatening his son, the sheriff pretty much said that if he hadn't arresting the bus man for threatening his kid, because I had live stream of it, I had video, but because the man had shot the gun in the air, that got arrested in front of his family. I feel really bad about that. He got arrested in front of his kids, and right now I'm waiting outside the jail. His family is to get him bonded out so he can get out tonight.
Okay, so it was the father that was arrested and the father that shot the gun in the air, not the 17-year-old.
That was the lie that Freedom Ninja was spreading over on the squirrels, that it was a 17-year-old, but it wasn't. It was not him. That was who they were threatening. His dad that came out and shot the gun in the air.
Wow. And the dad ended up getting arrested.
And now has to pay bond.
And you're there to help get him out of jail.
Well, I don't know how I can actually help. I talked to the mom when she's back at the house with the kids and stuff, because there's a grandpa there. Started talking to their neighbors to find out what was going on over there, if anybody knew on in that area, in that property. And they told me all kinds of, I call him Pawpaw, but an older gentleman who he's had a dog killed by the squirrels' dogs. They let their dogs run loose. And I have video of one of their dogs. It's a pit bull dog running loose on the neighbor's property while their kids had to run in the house to get away from the dog because it's tried to attack. And then I'm not afraid of dogs, and I shoot it off back to its. They're very upset. The Pawpaw was hoping that I was going to help him get rid of those people, because they are just such a problem. They had pigs that were running all the land, other people's land, and when the sheriff just recently went out and told them they'd have 10,000, had the people living there kill and shoot all those pigs. The mama shot. And the Pawpaw told me that he sat there and counted them, and he knew how many pigs there were, and there were the same amount of shots as so I mean, there's all kinds of shit going on down here. On top of that, we've got people living there. There's 6 people living in a bus on their property, and 6 people living in a home. Told 5 or 6 dogs who I've only seen out in a couple days. I've only seen them out and stuff in the house. There's no door on the back. There's animals living down under the basement-y thing. There's no back door. There's goats and chickens running around in the bottom of their house. I was told that one of their goats actually had babies in there. I'm going to the sheriff tomorrow. I'm going to CPS tomorrow. Patrol tomorrow.
Lori, how did it get to this point to where the focus isn't so much on 1776 anymore, and the focus seems to be on each other?
Started threatening me. They started threatening me, and they started threatening and they went after my mods, and they put their addresses and phone numbers out there. They started sending, and then they started making threats to me too. I'm done with it. And so I wanted to figure out and they switched over to 1776 and started defending them. That's where they fucked up, is they started actually defending the pedophiles that we were trying to stop. It's where they messed up big time. And so that got
when did
me
this
wondering why they would do that.
Okay, when did this happen? When did they switch over?
Did you see them when they went to DC?
No.
Okay, so they went and confronted Ant over
Oh, I did. I saw that, just that little clip of them coming up to Ant.
Right. Okay, so that same night they also talked and told him that they would protect the 17, that they wouldn't let Ant bother them anymore and us bother them anymore. So we heard all that. I actually called Paul, and he had me and say that he was coming for all of us. He was coming for Ant and me and AP. So there you go.
Okay.
And
all right,
they're now defending them. And if you go, you'll see they've got all kinds of 1776 people that just lovey-dovey them now. They're all over in their chat. These people have switched sides. They are, I'm sorry, but drug addicts, but they're that drug addict lifestyle. They're something's off of people, and they are taking money under false pretenses. And I don't like thieves, and I just don't like people like hell out of it. And I think there's something really bad going on with those bus people, pedophiles or sex trafficking or something. And I'm going to figure the hell out.
Okay. All right. You do understand that there are a lot of people that are upset that you're down there and that you're doing this.
I really don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. And one thing you cut out when you said the squirrels went and talked to somebody the night that they came to DC and confronted Ant. You said they went to talk to somebody
Chud.
from 1770. Chud. Okay, they went to talk to Chud because it cut out there, at least on my end.
And can I add this too?
Absolutely.
That I was talking. He was threatening us, and I told him. He said he was coming for me, and I told him. I said, "See, come on. And you know what he did? He ran home, threatening a woman. Do you know what he has said about? He has said the most disgusting and vile shit. He got his page taken down, his YouTube channel down. At least his videos got taken. Women. He said something so vile to a woman called Lisa Hurley, her mother's ashes, and about she was talking about she chat, and so he started going after her, and he was saying some bad things about her mother and was dead, and she said, well, I'll send you some of her ashes, and he said he would masturbate into it. This man is a vile man.
I know Lisa Hurley, yes.
This man is
and
vile.
I had not heard any of that. Yeah, that's beyond uncalled for.
Uncalled for. These are unhinged drug addict-y type people, and they've been grifting. To know because I know them from the People's Convoy. I know a lot about this.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say? You know you're welcome here anytime. Yeah, hey, you know that
I do. Hey, 17 cent. What a dumb move.
What was that?
1776 is moving to Indiana. That's dumb.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. What are you hearing? I'm hearing that they are coming to Indiana temporarily, and they are going to go from state to state and not stay in one state for any really extended period of time, which I find at least puzzling.
I don't think they're going to find as they think it's going to be. Indiana is a pretty patriotic red state. Flags, we're going to love it. A lot of us are going to love it. But that's my state. I'm from Indiana, and Indiana State House. I am involved with a lot of activists and a lot of and a lot of groups. They are not well. So, and there's some pretty big groups that I associate with and that I work that work with a lot of politicians in our state house. These people, 1776, nobody. That's just it. They just don't.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be interesting how things play out from here on out.
I love you, doofus, though.
Well, thank you, Lori. Love you too. I'm, I don't know about what's going on down there now. I don't know if you ought to be there or not. I'm worried about your safety and
I feel kind of responsible. Maybe I need to like grift money just, for this poor guy's bail. I feel sorry for this guy. He really was just defending his family.
Do an after party on your stream when I wrap up here and make it about getting that guy bail money. So because otherwise I have a feeling he might really be pissed off at you when he comes out of jail.
Bad. I really do. I feel bad. Actually, I had bought pizza for the family because I would, to thank them and all that. Because they, like I said, they don't like their neighbors and they were happy to help. It was just, I do feel bad. They're a really nice family, teenage kids. They have a daughter that is disabled and but I just feel kind of bad for them and Paw and all that. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You're welcome anytime. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Lori Arnold, everyone. And the chat is screaming past. Does anybody have a response to that? Does anyone have anyone want to come on and speak your piece about all of this stuff? Because it's I don't know. It's just it seems like this is Ant-Man said it today. It was a short season, but this was the the end of season 4 and the beginning of whatever comes next, if there is a season 5. But this, with all the focus being upon those that were once united in opposition against what was an alleged pedophilia cult, with all the focus now being on those, having all those characters, if you will, against each other, is really counterproductive to trying to stop something that is allegedly happening. So, is there somebody behind all of this that is, keeping focus where, keep looking over here so you don't see what's going on over here, because that's what's happening. The characters are fighting amongst each other instead of what the focus was. So it just makes it, confusing. Was this, is this being manipulated somehow, probably monetarily, um, as as a distraction? It's just it's um, it's odd, and every time you think, well, okay, I kind of got a handle on what's happening here. Um, Something goes whoa, and you have to go, wow, why did that happen, and why did that happen at the point it happened? Um, okay, I'm getting over here into the chat for a second. Um, I'm not even sure who all's in here. Oreo Express. Oreo, you want to come up here for a couple of minutes, man? Hi, Vaughn Michelle. I haven't said hi to you, I don't think. Just here. Uh, Mama Jam. Shelly Shells. Diane Peterson. Yeah, all we need is for AP to pop on now, for um, the section of the internet that follows all of this, as we have all um, kind of become to be acquainted with each other through all of this. Um, that would make that part of the internet explode. That one little tube that we're all in, that is 1776 and opposition. Um, that's a nerd joke. There's a nerd out there somewhere going, "Oh, I got it, haha." Everybody else is going, "Oh, wow." No, please, no, AP. I love AP. AP, AP, AP. It's like Beetlejuice. Say AP, AP, AP. Reenactment with dolls. Uh, I so admire your videos. They're hilarious. Bail was 140 court felony charge tomorrow at 8:30. Wow. So, I was under the impression that Tennessee and West Virginia and certain areas were, you can shoot your gun anywhere you want, anytime you want, for any reason you want, as long as you're not, shooting somebody. But you're welcome. You're welcome, reenactment. Um, a lot of this chat is amongst yourselves, which is cool. Go ahead. I'm just waiting to see if anybody has any questions for me. Mindbender, hello. Alabama Gigi, otherwise known as Christy. That's interesting. Alabama Gigi, otherwise known as Christy. Hmm. uh, Tennessee 116, not in the air. Okay. All right. Because it becomes a dangerous projectile, as Lori was saying. Yeah, right. Not in a reckless manner, of course. Hi, Freedom Ninja. What are you sorry about? Um, what a maroon. Rapunzel, Brett is so proud of the doofus appearance numbers. Can you imagine your life being that empty? Come on. Um, I know a lot of people are clout chasers, but this isn't a place to chase clout. We just talk. Uh, Crossed feet. I'm seeing a lot of names that that I've never ever seen before. And thank you. Kaiser Mama, thanks, Doofus. Have a good night. Lots of gutter rats here. Gotta go do life. AP hiding tonight. I have no idea. Ask Oreo if he had nothing to hide. Tell him to come on. Actually, what time is it? It's 12:52 Eastern Daylight Time. Oreo, if you're still in here, man, my email is americandufus@gmail.com. It's AMERICANDUFUS @gmail.com. Email me and we'll do a dual interview, if you will. You stream it from your side, I'll stream it from my side, and we'll have people, we'll have a conversation, as hopefully a civil conversation about things, and then we'll open it up and have people ask us questions. And all the money that is raised goes to the American Red Cross for relief to hurricane families. Just something to think about. Did anyone hear Mel explain how her second dog died? Oh my gosh. Doofus, can you tell me why Lori is in another state stalking out of state? Lori said that she was there because she had concerns about the bus people, and she was going to find out what was going on. And again, you know, while we do not agree with everything everybody does, we try to give an open platform for people that want to come on and explain themselves, or want to, or I want to have on and hear their stories. But I can't, you know, that's what she said she was down there for, and we're going to take her at her word. And it will be an interesting day tomorrow if she does indeed go to the sheriff and everything she says she's going to do as to what happens. And it might be an interesting night when the guy gets out of jail here soon. Mel and Paul are in Florida. They were not home. Yes, they're down there. They were down there. They're down there basically providing whatever help they can provide. I did click on their I clicked on their stream. I know sometime this afternoon, and Red Squirrel was tearing down a rotted out interior of a house. And Mel and Honor were walking around. So yeah, they're in Florida. Nancy Bartlett, yes, she also said she went there because she claims they threatened her. Yes, you're right. She did say that. Oreo planned this entire operation. The 76ers did not know how to be this evil. The Oreo Granny Squad. Not gonna lie, Wyckoff acting is better. Stopping to give people who need gas a gallon container and no funnel. Not any threats. Oreo has nothing to do with this. Freedom Ninja, you want to hop up here? Oreo won't call doofus. Oh, I see what you're saying. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking that that I wouldn't do what I said I would do. But actually, no, it wouldn't be any advantage to him. He's got, he's got the channel. If you want to get clout, that's where you should go. Neighbor is out of jail and home. That's good news. Chat's going by really fast. I'm sorry, Lois. Oh. At least Wyckoff and the squirrels are helping. No matter what the motives are, it still helps people. Yes, absolutely. And like I said, I gave Wyckoff's credit the other night, even though I did show him at a hardware store picking up black 5-gallon buckets. Within that video, there was a lot more than just that, and they were passing out cases of water to people that needed them, and they got down there early, and they were again, credit to where credit's due. I'm sure they're not going to hear this, but nonetheless, the Wyckoffs got there and were zigzagging around debris trying to get back to people in places that people were shut off in. So, yeah, I tease him. I call him Byron instead of Brian, and I'm the whole thing of he's going to be a ghost hunter, then he's going to be a magnet fisherman, and but no, this time, nothing but respect for the fact that they are down there doing it, and assuming a percentage of the money is indeed going to what he says it's going to. And the squirrels are down there on video doing what they say they're doing. So, and I'm not, they're from each from different sides, or at one time they were, maybe they're not anymore. Things, who knows, after hearing Lori there. But it takes money to stay on the road. I mean, yeah, it just does. And the only way you're going to get it is ask for it. And if people don't like, because 1776 is basically on the road, they're constantly moving from place to place. And again, the stuff I've been sent, I'll just leave it at that. The stuff I've been sent indicates that the plan is not to stay in Indiana for an extended period of time. It's not to make it a permanent home. A month, 2 months, 3 months at the longest. And Lori again says, she's got people that are aware that they are on their way here. The same people that told me they weren't planning on staying in Indiana permanently also said they're in Ohio now, staying in motels and preparing to to come to Indiana. So that's what I've got on what's happening with 1776. Yeah, Wyckoffs are still helping. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I don't know if that was directed at me or not, but again, yeah, Wyckoffs are, I've seen it on their videos. Dude sitting down there with plastic or with sanitary gloves on making sandwiches for people, Yeah, I imagine they're helping themselves, Hellraiser. I imagine a percent goes to the Wyckoffs and a percent goes to supplies for the people that need them. Um, Again, it takes money to stay on the road, and if we're done with all this, if because I'm getting some of this, I'm starting to get some messages of hey, I'm done with all this. Somebody's keeping this going because there is no there's no purpose, there's no function, there's no um, end. You know, it's just this amoeba that keeps uh, mutating and moving around in a non-conforming fashion. Um, if we don't, if the funding stops, if the funding stops for all of it, it all ends. If we're tired of it, I'm saying we as an inclusive, as all of us that are on one side or the other or on neither side and just report. Uh, because in all honesty, I don't think I've donated to anybody. Um, I don't think I have. I bought a BTM shirt, but I don't think I donated to anybody. Um, but no, I'm sorry. I'm running back through the files to see if I did donate to somebody, and I don't think I have. But nonetheless, that's not the purpose. It's not about me. It's about the fact that um, you have to have money to stay on the road, and if you do support what people are doing, um, what you do with your money is your own business, and support them. Um, if you're tired of all of this, if you think um, this is all one big giant grift, I've heard this a couple of times. This is all one big giant grift. Both sides, 1776 and the opposition, they're both working together. There's an agreement not to hurt each other, and it's all done for show and all done so people can keep money coming in. Um, if you've heard that, raise your hand. Um, and I might be, I might have been the only one that heard it, but I've heard it from more than one source. So, back to the chat. I'll off of my soapbox for a couple of minutes here, or you're all chatting amongst yourselves. Um, Oreo, if you want to do this, and I'm sure you won't, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway because somebody else from 1776 might take me up on it. Whoa, hold on a second. I just saw a huge number fly by. Um, Hang with me, folks. Vaughn Michelle says, stop paying these scumbag streamers. Get refunds from Oreo, Wizzy, Wyckoff, Squirrels. Give it to Aunt Lori, AP Pluck, and American Doofus. No. All you 1776ers, quit giving money to them. Get your money to me. That was comedy. Okay, Cindy, are you in here? Freedom Ninja, Cindy, Squirrels. If you any of you are in here, we've had Lori up here, and if any of you are in here and you want to speak, let me know. I saw a number of $20,000. I thought there it is. Good for you, dude. Mike, that's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. Which takes me back to the point again that when I saw that $20,000 thing, I thought I've got to find out what that's about. If Oreo, you can even keep, you can keep 50% of the donations yourself, and I'll just donate my portion, whatever that may be. So just throwing that out there. Let's have a conversation. I think people might be interested to see that, and it'd be nice to get some questions answered that some people might have, and it might clear the air. You never know. As long as we're talking, we're not fighting. And for that matter, I'd like to have, honestly, I'd like to have like Ant and Lori. I think I can have 6. I'd like to have Ant and Lori and Squirrels or AP and Santa and Oreo and Wizzy. The Brady Bunch right there. have them lined up in 3 squares and just have a conversation. And I just moderate it, like what's her name? The cleaning lady in the middle. Anyway, Oreo isn't messing with you, doofus. Stop trying to clout chase. I'm not clout chasing. I know he's not going to. I just threw it out there because it'd be an opportunity to help the people, both help the people that watch all this that's going on, and for and to help the people that need the help in Florida, because even if you just all you've seen is what we've shown on here, it's bad down there. It's horrific. It looks like a war zone in many locations. Doofus, it beats Netflix. Otherwise, they are all grifters and reprobates. That's prescription Cato. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad I stopped it there and saw that. Because in all honesty, a lot of it has been entertaining, and a lot of it has been dramatic. But when gunshots enter the picture, playtime is over. It's not a game. That the one gunshot could have led to somebody else shooting a gun and another shot and another shot, and pretty soon you got dead people. And so what happened down there, I think we ought to all be thankful that it ended the way it did. and didn't end the way it could have. So let me hop down to the bottom of the chat and see if Tommy Temper. Did I miss is Cunning Stunt, Cynthia Reed. Okay. I'm guessing Freedom Squirrel's in here. Drop the link. Okay. I got to be up tomorrow. I've got a eye doctor appointment. Thankfully, going to get some new glasses. I know no one cares. I heard you. Lori, go help people in Florida. I saw that comment. Okay. Hi, Freedom Ninja. You should be popping up. There you go.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can. If you talk, the slower you talk, the better it comes through.
Okay.
I've got redneck internet down here. So it responds to slower talk better. That's a joke.
I'll do my best.
Oh, you'll be fine.
So, I just have to say that this has been what Lori's done is really awful. She has a lot of damage. There's no reason for her to do this. She had no business home. I just got off the phone with Madison for almost an hour, and she's got a young baby, and what's going on right now, they don't even feel safe in their own home, and she needs to go home. Lori, go away. Go home. Go away. Go to Indiana and go do what you got to do in Indiana. Leave them alone. It's awful.
Okay. You mentioned Madison. Who? I'm sorry, I don't know. Who's Madison?
Madison is one of Paul's. She's got a young child who is
one of Paul's daughters.
Paul's daughter, and she's got a baby. Now what is she supposed to do? She's got these strange showing up at her house. The neighbors are fighting and shooting off guns. What is she supposed to do now? This is insane. This is disgusting. It's not productive. This has nothing to do freedom fighting or anything. She needs to go away. Like, go away. There's no business for you being there. The school bus is fine. The kids tell you something about those kids, okay? When I went, I have piglets. I got piglets at their farm. And when I was there, I was with the school bus children. And I called them she used to follow me all over the place. So you'd have to hide to get rid of them. They're so cute. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with those children. There's no. How dare you, Lori? How dare you show up there like that? In fact, I'm concerned you're putting them in more danger by doing what you're doing. And I don't know who you think wrong tree. It's wrong. It's wrong. And you need to go away. Fine. I've interacted with those kids. They're good kids. There's no reason. It's awful. Awful. And I'm not reading the chat. I don't know what anyone is saying, but if there's any
I'm not
questions-
either. I'm not either. I know you can't see me, and I know they can't see me, but I'm basically looking at you and paying attention to what you're saying. So
Thank you.
I don't know what to
I
say.
appreciate that. I can't see the chat. I just called it
Okay.
because I just want to let you know.
Somebody asked, was it a daughter and a granddaughter? Yes, it's Paul's daughter and their granddaughter. Correct?
Correct. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
And now maybe
It's
relocate
okay.
them.
One person says that you threatened to feed Lori to your pigs.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
I sure did, and I stand by that statement. You know.
Come on.
I'm
All right.
angry,
All right.
and after talking to Madison, don't mess with me. I'll feed you to my pigs, Lori.
Okay. And then you give this cute little smile and nod of the head. I'll feed you to my pigs, and then eek. All right. I've got it. I've never said this. I've never said this before.
Find out, Lori.
Okay. I've never said this on my show before, but please do not feed anyone to pigs. And that includes you, Freedom Ninja, as well as everybody.
Oh, requesting, I'll consider it.
Thank you for coming on here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry that you're in this drama.
I'm not. I'm just reporting on it, you know?
Well, there's a lot of hate. And I don't know how it affects you, but for me, it's been really rough. I'm not used to this. I'm used to
I'm glad you brought that up. The hate and the anger and on all the negative vibes. I don't like it.
It's hard.
I don't like it.
It's hard.
I don't like it when people get sad, when I see people getting sad in chats, and I don't, and people that are hurting, and I don't like any of that. I want positive stuff, but my gosh, everything's so negative in the world now.
It is.
It's
it
important.
Really is.
It's important we try to be positive with each other whenever we can.
It is. It's rough. It is rough. Be protective, and you got to be tough, and you got to defend yourself, and it's rough. It's hard.
And I respect you for having the bravery to stand up and say what you believe. And we may not agree on everything, but we can share a laugh, and that's always important.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right. Thank you for coming on. You're welcome anytime. All right.
Thank you for having
Freedom
me.
Ninja.
Take care.
My pleasure.
Have a good night.
Always. You too. Freedom Ninja, thank you for coming on. So we've got Just here. What's going on?
Hey, Dubas, how you doing tonight?
All right. What kind of intelligence have you got for us?
Oh, I just been watching the room and people giving out misinformation about what's going on around the affected areas of Hurricane Ian in both Florida and the Carolinas. And I think it's quite funny that people think they know what's going on when they're not in the meetings every day, understanding what information is coming in, what information is going out, but yet they're trying to make their so-called judgment call is actually what's going on.
So what's going on?
Well, some people have been turned away from helping. because they aren't residents of Florida, but people in Florida who step up to help, like the Wyckoffs, have been greeted with open arms to help out. People like the Squirrels who have come in to help have been given authorization to help in the outlying areas. Other than that, in the most drastic affected areas, it's first responders, be it police officers, firemen, Red Cross, Salvation Army, Army National Guard.
Okay. Just I'm kind of, I'm kind of familiar with a lot of people that and it's a lot to me, but anyway, I know a number of people that live down there, and a lot of them I would suspect had valuables inside their homes, and
that's being handled by the sheriff's department, the local police department, and the state patrol.
and that's probably a reason why they don't want just anybody coming down there and volunteering to help.
Exactly. And what they're doing is
Okay.
they're going house to house with armored cars, and anything of high dollar value are being tagged with the address and the homeowner's name and put into an armored car and being taken to a safe place until the owners can come back in and claim what they are rightfully belonging to them. They're trying to prevent looters.
Have you been in a recovery zone either in Florida or
I'm
in
in
North
Cape
or South
Coral.
Carolina? Oh, you're in Cape Coral now?
Yeah, it's a war zone here.
Okay. Okay. What can you give us just a brief description of what it looks like in a little more detail other than a war zone?
That's the easiest way to describe it because of how much damage exists. There is flooding damage. There is wind damage. There is surge damage. Roads have been washed away. Houses have been taken off foundations. And there is trees and buildings spewed all over the place like somebody came through in a war zone.
Wow.
And we're in the recovery process of cleaning all that mess up. They started cleaning it up today. And they're going to work their way from the center of the eye or the center of the damage, hit landfall and work their way out. They're hitting the heaviest damaged areas first, and they're going to work their way to the least damaged areas. That way they can get the grids back up and running, and people can get back to their homes and get their lives back on track.
But it's going to be a while before that happens in some areas.
It's going to take months.
Yeah. All right.
Right now, their biggest concern is getting the grid back up and running because there's a lot of people that are still without power, 800,000 people.
Okay.
And the Cajun Navy, no, they're not from Florida, but they have worked with national disasters on multiple occasions. So they are treated like the Red Cross and the Salvation Army. When they come in, they're given access to get into the areas that need the help. They are a well-known group.
Veterans, they are longtime veterans of hurricane relief.
Yes.
Throughout the Gulf area.
Yes.
And not necessarily just New Orleans.
No, they've helped in Texas, New Orleans, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Wherever there's been a hurricane hit, the Cajun Navy has been there.
Okay, I know you've been awful busy with all this emergency stuff. Do you have any intelligence on what's up with 1776 or anything like that?
Well, last I heard, they were going to Indiana, and Oreo was on his way down to Texas to go to the border.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you for popping on here.
But I was sitting there watching people putting out false information on what's going on down here, and it's bullshit. Don't put out fake shit unless you know what the hell you're talking about. You're talking about people's lives that were affected.
Yeah, especially during a disaster. No need for misinformation, disinformation, or just flat out wrong information. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you have a good one, Doofus.
All right. Thank you. Just here, everybody. I got 4 more minutes before we wrap things up. If anybody wants to hop on, for a couple of quick minutes here. Actually, I'm just going to go to the chat for the last few minutes and see if you've got a question. Drop it in there now. I'm going to be ending at 1:30. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching wherever you may be, and thank you to Lori for coming on and answering some questions, explaining some things, and thank you to the lovely Freedom Ninja. Good night, GA from CA, and again, bravo, and you know what I'm talking about. Good on you. Okay. Cajun Navy's from my state, Louisiana. Yeah, I think aren't they based there, and thus the Cajun name, but they do help out. They're legit and help out all around the Gulf. My cousin lost her condos and no insurance in Fort Myers. Oh no. No way she would want squirrels or Wyckoff. Okay. You laughed when Lori was threatened. Do you find threats funny? No, Mindbender, I don't. I found it amusing. I just found it amusing that of all the ways to threaten somebody, threatening them by feeding them to pigs was something I personally had never heard. But no. And that's why I said, I've never said this on my show, but I have to say it to you, Freedom Ninja, and to the whole chat. Don't feed anybody to pigs. Thank you for being here. And thanks for the question, Mindbender. Alabama, what does it say? Alabama, Gigi Christie. Okay, this is my first time here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Chip's mom, Feisty Mama, Racine, night. Bomb. Good night, T.O.B. Scrolling down through here. Again, thank you all for being here. I'm going to probably take Monday night off unless something incredibly drastic happens. And we'll be back Tuesday night at midnight. But you never know. So look out for the posts that, say we're going to be on, or the pre-schedule that says we're going to come on. And if not, you will see me Tuesday night at midnight, and we'll be doing another edition of Late Night America on the American Doofus show, or on the American Doofus channel. And again, thank you all for watching. Take a night off. You deserve it. Thank you. Thank you, Freedom Ninja. We will we'll see you real soon, regardless. And again, thank you all for being here. And try to be positive. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Even if it's a little light, as dark as the world is, that little light's going to shine. So I love y'all. Peace.